Okay, so in this next video, we're gonna now do some practice for this unit of user interfaces. We're gonna start by going into my widget, and we're gonna fix a little bit the UI that we have here. We're gonna improve on it. So now we already know the core concepts. We can get it a little bit more into details now. So this health bar we have here, we're gonna go ahead and add a text box in this same horizontal box next to the progress bar. And then we move this text box to the left and we're gonna call this health. Okay, we're gonna call it health. We're gonna go ahead and add some padding to this too. So let's say we're gonna extend on this and add maybe like 10 padding to the left and 20 to the top, something like this. And now for the progress bar, let's go ahead and maybe add 10 padding for all directions. Something like that. I think we can actually have more padding from the top. So let's say all tens except the top is 20. Maybe we remove bottom. Let me see. Okay, something like this looks fine. Now we can also like extend on this so that this looks like a little bit larger. Okay, let's see what more adjustments. Yeah, something like this is fine. You can also like tweak this however you like. Like it doesn't have to be exactly like me, but something along these lines is fine. Just have your health, your progress bar, and some padding to the top and to the sides if you want. Okay, so now our UI is gonna look a little bit better in that way. And let's go ahead also and remove this vertical box we had in the top right because we're actually gonna do something else there. So you can choose here the vertical box and delete all of the things that you had there, delete the whole block basically. You are gonna get this warning because remember we did a button and an event for this, so no problem, just go ahead and delete for that. So just delete. It will delete, I think it deletes the blueprint that we had there for the bottom too. So until this point is fine, we have our health. And now we're gonna add something else on that top right, okay? So right now, let's go ahead and do a few things that we need to clean up. So compile and save for now. Let me see my widget. Okay, actually, whenever you are on this, whenever you compile, there's gonna be this warning for the bottom. Actually, the bottom blueprint didn't delete when we deleted the components here. So if we click on this and then delete this bottom, now we shouldn't get any warnings. Okay, so just make sure you remove that bottom. And now, as you can see, there's no warnings. We're good to go. Okay, so now we're gonna go to my character blueprint here really quick because we're gonna also clean up some stuff there. So now we're gonna remove all those print test messages that we had from before for the health and the item. So let's go to the item and the health. And for example, this append, these prints, we don't need any this anymore. Okay, so we can delete the append and the print string. And for now, we can just leave the table collected. We can just leave that there for now. And then let's go to the, okay, that's the item collection. And now we go to the one about the game over. Where is it? It's here. So this one, we're also gonna remove those print messages. We don't need them anymore. So for example, all of these down here, we don't need, we take it out. Okay, so you should have only these nodes connected. And we can just leave the final game over message for now. Okay, but now with these cleanups, you are not gonna have as many print messages on the screen because we don't need them anymore. We're now gonna be using the UI. So let me just make sure so you see what my level has right now. I run my game, I have the health bar, and I don't have any of the print messages if I collect items or if I damage my player. So that's what I want you to have right now, same as me. No messages for collecting and no messages for the damage. We're also gonna ahead and delete this chair and block, like that we already practiced with it. We can take it out. So this is what we should have right now, right? So hopefully you have same as me. Let's make sure we keep saving. And now we are going to continue on the UI. So we did the hell here in the top left. Now we are gonna do the counter for the item collections in the top right. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add a horizontal box on the top right. Let's go ahead and anchor it to the top right. Let's put 0, 0 coordinates. Alignment as 1. That way it's still inside the canvas panel. Then you can extend it a little bit here as you see fit. Okay, and now we're gonna do the following. So we are going to add 3 text boxes in a row. Okay, so make sure you add 3 text boxes here stacked between each other. And now we are gonna have the following on each of them. So you're gonna grab the first one and call it just orbs. Orbs and a space like this. Second one is gonna say the following, is just gonna say 0. And the last one is gonna say backslash space 10. Okay, so at the end you should have something like this, orb 0 of 10. Okay, this is the counter for my orbs. Okay, now I'm gonna just make sure I have some padding to this, so I'm gonna put, let's say, 20 in the top for each of them. 20 padding for each. Wait, let me fix this. Okay, so I'm gonna add 20 padding on this, and I'm gonna add 20 padding for the top on this. Okay, so we should have something like that. My health is the same size, 32, as my orbs, so that makes sense. We want to keep like similar kind of text as the same size, so it looks uniform. And I think now I'm just gonna give it like a quick run, make sure it's looking good. Okay, I think it's good enough. Maybe it can be a little bit more towards the bottom, but it's okay. We don't need to be that perfectionist. Okay, so now we are gonna make sure that we add functionality now to this counter because right now it's just gonna stay as this 0 to 10, but we want it so that this keeps increasing as we collect the items. Okay, so we're gonna choose only the 0 one. That's the only one that really will change. And we are gonna go and ahead and create a binding for this text. So here you see how we can create binding. So you're gonna click on this, and then it's gonna take you to this blueprint. And now we're gonna do the steps to get the value. You remember from my character, we have what is it? The value for the counter. Actually the variable is called counter there. So we're gonna try to get that variable here to make the counter work. So we're gonna get the get player controller connected to the control pawn, get control pawn, and then this gets me to cast as my character, cast to my character. So just follow my steps here. We're just trying to get that variable from the blueprint, and here we should be able to get the counter. Yes, we can here. Okay. So we are going to use that counter as the return value. There will be like a conversion node there automatically, no problem. And then connect these between each other. That should get me my counter to work in this way. Okay, this is actually similar steps that we did for the health, for the progress bar. So if you remember those steps, this shouldn't feel too unfamiliar. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and test. So if we collect items, there we go. It does work. If I get to 10, okay, we win. All right, so now my UI is almost there. Now we're gonna do just the final steps. We're gonna add you win or you lose messages to the UI when we win or we lose, right? When we get the 10 items or when we get to health 0. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that implementation by starting off in my character. And now here we're gonna add a couple of variables, okay? So first, I'm just gonna go ahead, everything's public, and then I'm gonna create a variable here called you won. So this is gonna check if I won the game or not at that current moment. I'm gonna compile to change the default value, and actually at default this is false, and we wanna keep it as that. It should start as false, so that only we're gonna change it to true when we actually win. So how we gonna do it? We are going to remove this print string message that we had here whenever we win the game. Let's remove that. And now I'm going to do a branch node here instead. And then the condition will be you remember we did this condition here to check greater equal to 10. So this is the one determining if I won or not. So here, when this is true, when we win, then we're gonna set, let's actually get it from here. We're gonna set the u1 to true, right? Whenever we win, we are going, actually, this should be like this. Whenever we win, u1 will be set as true. I think this should be fine. But when it's false, I think when it's false, we can leave it like unconnected because nothing really happens when we haven't won, right? So here it says as you win. Okay, this is what we want. Make it public. And then let's do similar thing, but if we lost or not the game. So let's create another one called game over, Boolean as well, public. And then this one, same thing. It's gonna start as false because we haven't lost when the game starts, right? This is false. But now on the game over here, we're gonna remove that print string. And same thing, we are going to, instead of this, well, actually, we don't need a branch because the branch was done before. You see, this is kind of like similar to what I had here. We check true or false. So true, we lost, we destroy the actor, and then here we're gonna do same thing, do the set game over connected to the destroy here, where we change this to true, right? Because we lost, we destroy the actor, okay, we mark it as true. The game is over. Okay, so you should have those two sets there for the variables. So compile and save. Okay, so now everything is ready from the blueprint side. Now, what do we want to do? We want to make it sure to add what we want on the blueprint of the widget. So we're going to go to the widget, and now we are going to do the following. We are going to add a border component here. It can be black, I think. Well, the color is mostly up to you, to be honest, but I'm just going to put mine black. Sorry, it's not color. It's not this one, the one that we need to choose. It's actually this one, the brush color for the color. Okay, black. I'm gonna anchor it to the center, and I'm gonna have 0, 0 as the origin, and I'm gonna put 0.5 for for both alignments. In this way, it's like, as you can see, totally in the center of the box. That's what I really want. I'm gonna make this a little bit larger, I guess, and put it in the origin once I do that. Okay. Now I'm gonna add a text box to this, and this text box should be a child of the border. Make sure that is correct. And I'm gonna put on this the message you want. Okay, so let's do first the you want message. This one I will have it like kind of like on a blue color to make it match with the UI that I had already, but you know, you can really put the colors you want. You want, maybe see if I can fix this a little bit, maybe align it to the center. Let me actually add some padding here. Top 4, maybe. Top 10, 20. Okay, something like this. Make it a little bit larger. Yeah, actually, I like this better. Like a 64 size of text. Make it basically pretty large, so the message comes up to the screen in this way. Okay, yeah, the size, the details, you can do as you want. I won't mind too much. Okay, so now my you want message is pretty much set here. But now, how do we make it so that this message only shows up when we actually win, right? Like, I don't want this to always stay there visible in the UI. So I'm gonna click here on, where is it? Visibility. There should be actually check is variable first, so that to make sure it shows up. And then we should have a visibility here. We have the visibility feature. Actually, let's make sure we add the border as well. So start off with the border, and then you're gonna go here to visibility. And now we're gonna switch this to hidden and go ahead and create a binding here. So create binding. And then same thing, we get this node here where we can determine what's going to happen from the blueprint side. So let's do same steps as we've been doing to get variables from character blueprint. So first, get player controller. Let me see. Yeah, let me see. I'm just going to go ahead actually and copy and paste these 3 nodes from my other blueprint and then just use this here to save some time. So boom, I run my stuff here. And now I'm going to get instead the U1. Remember this one we did, get U1. And now here I'm gonna do a branch because this could be true or false, right? We won or we didn't win. So what we're gonna do is that I'm going to connect this to this. So if true, we won, the not the what is it? The UI will be visible, but false if we don't win, then we're gonna copy and paste this here and instead make this hidden. In this way, if U1 is true, the UI component is visible. If U1 is false, then the node is not visible, it's hidden. Okay, so make sure you have it this way. Let me see, I'm having an error here. The Broken is not my character, see? Let me see. Oh, okay, because I haven't connected this, my bad. So, sorry. Let's connect this here. Okay, now it should be fine. Okay, now it works. And that is for the border here. Okay, make sure that's the visibility for the border. I think I don't know if we have to do it for the text inside of it too, because the text inside of it also has a visibility component. But I'm thinking that maybe because this one's the pattern, uh, because the text is the child, maybe it will already work. So let me go ahead and test it. So if we collect the 10 items, and then you see we get the print message. So actually what I was thinking is correct. If we have the border, which is the parent, with that visibility feature, then it will apply to its child the U1 message. So U1 message, you don't really have to tweak the visibility because the parent will do same as the child. Okay, so have it same as me and it should work. Now, very last thing, we're also gonna do that for the you lose. So what we're gonna do, because it's almost the same as this one, we're gonna duplicate this border with the text block, but the second one is going to have game over text, right? I'm gonna have it like this, make it a bit larger, and then make sure to align it however you want. So I'm gonna have 0, 0 in the origin. I'm gonna have both of mine pretty much in the same position because I want them to pop up at the same place. Now for the game over, I am going to do the visibility thing that we did. So here you see how my border is hidden. And then for the binding, you see how we're getting this visibility. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and create one new one to make it simple. So I'm gonna create this one. So now we have get visibility 0 and get visibility 1. This one is for the 0 is the one of the U1. So let's actually rename that and say U1 blueprint. And this one is the one about the game over. So I'm gonna call it game over blueprint. And this one, I'm gonna have it pretty much the same as, so I'm just gonna like copy and paste all this and put it in my game over like this because it is the same function, it is the same logic. Like why do all the work if we have to do pretty much the same? What's the only thing that changes? Is that instead of doing U1 variable here, we are gonna do the U like the game over, get, how is it called? Get game over, this one. This get game over will be the one that sets my condition of the branch, then true, visible, false, hidden. Okay, compile and save. You should have both of your blueprints looking in this way. Okay, I know I'm going a little bit fast, but it is a lot of things to change. And I think right now I should be good with everything. So I'm gonna do like one last test. Game starts. If I collect all my orbs, I get the U1 message. If I am playing, receiving damage, and eventually I get to health 0, I get the game over message as well. Okay, so make sure you have basically same as me. You have the UI, how I set it up for the orbs, the counter, and the health. Make it react how I did. And you should get the you won and you lost messages come up to the screen whenever the events take place, okay? So as long as you have it same as me, you should be good.